quite early in the morning here at the Laguna Beach Resort in Phuket, and one group of swimmers is taking it very seriously for good reason. They've been out there for quite some time already. They'll be coming in before too long. It's a training camp here because the annual triathlon is coming up right at the end of this year, 2010. And these people are already fit and they're very seriously in training for the swimming, the running and the bike riding that constitute this extraordinary triathlon. How are the troops looking today?
Yeah, they're going well. They're going well after yesterday as well. I had a tough day on the bike yesterday, so put them in here this morning, ease them into the day. They're going well.
And there'll be quite a lot more activity for them today as part of the training camp, will there?
Yeah, so today we're going to take them out to the LPT course and practice on the hills. So we're going to teach them how to get up the hills most effectively and efficiently so that when they come off the back that they're in top form to head out the back. So
how do you advise them to keep up their strength for so much output of energy?
It's just on a camp situation, it's just a matter of pacing yourself and working within your limits and knowing your limits, and just being aware that you've got a whole day of training. And I think also nutrition, it's just really important that they manage their nutrition and make sure they're correctly fueled and that they can get through the sessions without bonking. So.
What were you telling them out there when you were bobbing around out there?
Beware a jellyfish. No, really just talking to them, teaching them things. So just then out the back we were talking about buoy rounding, so how to get around a buoy effectively and efficiently. We were talking about drafting, how you can use other competitors to your advantage in the water. So everybody knows on the bike, if you sit behind someone on the bike, you're going to get that advantage. And the same goes for swimming. If you can get in behind somebody, you're going to save about 10% of energy. So just teaching them little tricks that are going to help them in the race to when they get out of the water, you want to be as fresh as possible. You want to be as ready to go. You don't want to come out and then, jump on the bike and have to ride 55 Ks. And it's a tough bike course, so we want them to come out as fresh as possible and
win.
Ready to go and win. That's right. That's right.
The training group is also receiving great advice from an expert in endurance, Marinda Carfrey, the 2010 Ironman winner and world champion.
Yes. Hi.
Hello, I'm Rod.
Hi, Rod.
What do you think of this little group you've got here today?
It's a great little group. We're looking forward to seeing how they go in the Laguna Phuket Triathlon in a month, and also the 70.3. So it's just good to get out and check out the course and recon the swim, because there's a lot of little pointers going into the race you can pick up that will help for race day.
Well, that's interesting. So it should be enjoyable, even though it looks so grueling, should it?
Well, in the moment, sometimes it's not so enjoyable. There are always moments in a race where you're struggling or not enjoying it, but at the end of the day, it's an accomplishment to finish a race like this, and you can be proud of yourself once you get to that finish line.
This little group here today, they clearly come from all over the place. It's interesting to find them all here in the one group, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got people from all over, so it's nice to get everyone together. A lot of different personalities, but everybody's just excited to race and train, and just like the positivity in the group.
To win a triathlon, do you think you have to win every stage?
Not really. You can't mess up. Like, you can definitely lose the race on a swim, but you certainly can't win the race on a swim. So you need to be solid across all three, but you don't need to be the best across all three. So it's obviously the best accumulated time. I was probably 6th out of the water in Kona, and then 5th off the bike, and I ended up winning. So you've just got to be, around, and I think every athlete has a weapon. My weapon is the run. Some people are unbelievable on the bike and others are unbelievable on the swim. So you need to have something, one leg that's really special, but you need to be really strong across all three.
On a session like this, one activity rapidly follows the other, and the swimmers of just minutes ago are soon transformed into cyclists, with just enough time, if you're lucky, to freshen up a little.
To try and make up a minute on the swim or a couple of minutes on the bike, but if you can get a really efficient transition and you can get your transition time down, that's just easy. That's easy seconds or an easy minute that you can then make up for really no added effort. So I'm going to hand you over to Evan and Rinny, and they're going to take you through for about half an hour or so of just some transition stuff and just some tips, what works, what doesn't work, and we'll go from there.
If you actually look at a lot of splits after your race and look at other people's splits, you can actually see where you can win and lose races, especially when it gets tight. So you see people spending hours and hours, as Nicole mentioned, trying to shave 30 seconds off their swim time. Or if they then have a bad swim time and they were positive they were going to come out with a certain person and that person's gapped them, but you can come through on a transition. So a race like Laguna Phuket, where it's a longer Olympic distance race, it's vitally important when you come out of that water and really be focused on it.
Evan Gallagher, who's one of the two organisers of this training camp, is going through some of the finer details of bike riding competitively, because in the upcoming triathlon, that's one of the major disciplines, of course. This is a training camp, so they'll be setting off on a training run shortly. At least this is just a trip down to the lagoon for some awareness advice from Nicole Gallagher, who manages BTM Singapore, the training organisers.
That's it. Well done, guys. Well done. Spot on.
Evan, what are the key things you're telling them here today?
Well, what we're trying to do is make people sort of realise that it's important to swim and bike and run as fast as you can, but you can lose a lot of time in transition. So we're trying to get people, just to learn the familiarity of getting that helmet on nice and quick and getting out and onto the bike and preparing yourself for the next stage.
And if somebody doesn't tell you, you can only learn through experience, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly. And we see people, making, the mistakes, but that's part of the fun. You have a bit of a slip up. But from our point of view, we just want people to be safe, because at the end of the day, if you can slip up at certain times, you can have a nasty accident. So it's better to practice these things, and you can do it at home. You can do it with your friends, and you can make it fun as well.
It's not unknown for a competitor to put his helmet on the wrong way, I gather.
No, that's true. We were joking about it, but even, we heard it from the world champion. She's seen a top-level professional athlete go out with their helmet on back to front. So it happens to amateurs, first-timers, but it also happens to the best in the world.
Yeah. Do you find that they can take on board this advice fairly readily?
Yeah, look, it's something, and especially at camps like this, when people are focused and they're hearing it from experts and they're hearing it from a world champion, and they hear from those mistakes. So they do listen a lot more and they take it on board, and sometimes it's a lot of information at once. So we go over it several times, and you see people picking it up over the period of a camp, and then they go away and they either get it right or they make mistakes, but they learn from it, and that's, to us, that's what it's about. You can improve your personal best.
Your friends are calling that a nice bit of bling, but what do you call it?
It's just the championship ring for the Ironman world title. So they sized this the night of the race, and then I picked this up at the awards dinner the night after. So yeah, I really like it. It's quite pretty, actually, I think.
It's a very nice touch, isn't it? What a good idea to introduce that idea.
Yeah, definitely. I was stoked. I didn't know that you got one of these, so it was a nice little surprise.
Has this bike been with you for a while now?
This bike I actually only received it in August, so a few months before the big race, before Kona. So
So it's been with you to Hawaii.
It's never lost a race. I did 3 races on this. I won 3 races and then did the World Championships. So it's raced 4 races and it's won all 4. So it's a good little bike.
Do you find you grow to love your bike?
You do. It's your workhorse. It's your equipment, and yeah, I love my Cannondales, and you know, it's an extension of you really at the end of the day.
Very successful one.
It is, yeah. I'll get rid of it if it lost.
From the agreeable avenues of Laguna Phuket, this determined group familiarises themselves with what's in store on the day of the triathlon, when competition is going to be fierce. The island countryside is great to look at, but then it's often mountainous too, and the roadway is a real challenge, not to be underestimated. There are rewards though. Back at Laguna Phuket, some take a run to unwind. And then there's the prospect of a nutritious luncheon in the presence of Minnie the baby elephant. There's relaxation too over a picnic. But for these athletes, nothing beats the challenge. You've made quite a profession of this in addition to your real working life, haven't you?
Yeah, well look, it's just an absolute passion, and you know, my wife set up BPM Sport, and it was something that she wanted to do. She's always been in the health and fitness industry, and it's something that we just enjoy as a passion, and we're very fortunate that, you know, we still learn, and we've been in the sport for years, and we still learn by riding and running and just sitting around and talking with some of the top athletes. But we also learn from some of the age groupers. Even just then, a couple of the questions made me think, it's like, I hadn't thought about that before. That's a good way, because I've done things because I just naturally know how, but when it makes you think, and it's good. It brings back the enjoyment in it, because at the end of the day, we do this sport for fun and to be fit and healthy and see wonderful places like here.
Who's next?
Got it. Who's next?
Yeah!